So the fax machine was actually invented 33 years before the telephone was. Okay, how's that even possible? Hey, it's Don Skaggs, again with Empowered Inventing TV, where we try to help you help other people by taking your great innovation, the right opportunity, mixing that with sound wisdom, so you can turn them into real things like products and businesses. Now I've got a little factoid for you today. This is kind of one of those little history lessons, that little conundrums. Did you know that the fax machine was actually invented 33 years before the telephone was? And if you're wondering why that is, I want to tell the story now. And you know, today we think of a fax machine. This is actually an old fax machine. Yes, I was alive and around when these were very popular. You know, we think of fax machines now as just a very outdated, old piece of equipment, although this is still widely used. It's very used quite a bit, still in the medical industry. By the way, whoever can get around the hip, you know, you can't hack a fax. So that's kind of, you know, with HIPAA laws and the medical industry, and whoever's solving that or can solve that, actually I think that's a great opportunity, by the way. Just let me throw that out there. So the telephone was actually invented in 1876. But the fax machine was invented, as I said before, 33 years earlier in 1843. Now think about it, the fax machine invented in 1843. Now this was before the automobile. This was before the Civil War. So my question is how is that even possible? Well, you have to know the story. It was invented by a Scottish clockmaker named Alexander Bain, and he called it the electric printing telegraph. Aha, key in on the word telegraph. Yes, he used the telegraph, which was invented in 1837 by Samuel Morse, and then added an electromagnetic pendulum, producing a written telegraph, basically. It was, you know, the dots and dashes kind of thing. And by the way, this ended in a fight with Samuel Morse, legal fight, and Morse won. Don't ask me how. That's just a little more details than for today, because I want to focus on some interesting points here in a minute, as you know. So Frederick Bakewell improved Alexander Bain's invention by, he called it an image telegraph, and he got rid of the pendulums and he opted for something called something more akin to a rotating cylinder. But it still had sync problems, solved later by Giovanni Caselli's, what he called the pantelegraph. Every one of these guys had a cool new name for it. And he, okay, so this Giovanni guy invents this, you know, I've got the sync problems figured out. You know, if it's writing what it's reading what you're writing at the right rate, I guess. So he demonstrated this new pantelegraph to Napoleon in 1860 by sending a signature over 500 miles. Again, 1860, you're sending a fax of an autograph 500 miles. I just find that to me, that's a little mind-blowing. Now, a guy named Bernard Mayer, he made some more improvements. He used a drum, it doubled the speed, it got a little better. Elisha Gray invents the telautograph in 1888, and it made it even a little faster. Foster Ritchie, it created the telewriter. Again, just these names are amazing. Used, and it was the first one that was used over telephone lines. So this is where it starts to resemble a little more of what we recognize as the fax. But still, we're talking, you know, early 20th century, or, you know, 1900. 1924, RCA sends a wireless image fax over the Atlantic Ocean. So now they're using radio waves. And a color fax was actually sent by Herbert Ives from AT&T, a color fax. Now, all that being said, faxes really didn't become widely used until about 1964. They first came out, you know, they were probably the size of a small refrigerator, and of course, you know the rest of the story is, you know, now we end up with things that look like this. So, so what can we learn from all this? There's some really good lessons here, and one is that there are tons of unrealized, developed tech out there just waiting for a creative, inventive, entrepreneurial person to take advantage of, to seize that opportunity, to take it and make it something. And I always go back and think about Steve Jobs and the computer mouse, which was rotting in the basement of Xerox's research center, and he said, this is amazing. He was jumping around the room saying, this is amazing. How come you're not like doing something with this? And of course Apple did. So there's tons of unrealized tech out there. You have to dig to try to find what you can use. And again, you're helping these other people, and by the way, you're not screwing these people over. By the way, you work with other people, and maybe you're an entrepreneur and you end up licensing tech from someone who's an inventor, and they're really good at the tech stuff, but they're not good at the marketing and business stuff, and you form an agreement, an alliance or a partnership to do such a thing. I think that's an amazing thing that can help a lot of inventors out there, by the way, and a lot of you entrepreneurs as well. If you lean a little more way, you lean a little the other way, you guys can kind of come together and make something that maybe the two of you apart could not do. So another thing is just because one person, made it but didn't sell it, doesn't mean it's unsellable. Maybe they just weren't really good at selling it. Now that being said, you have to, it has to meet certain criteria. It has to be a painful problem. Has to be in a way that people will, it has to solve that problem in a way that people are really going to like and really going to pay for. And it has to communicate that idea so people will get it and then buy it. If they get it, then they'll get it. Inventors also can always, or inventions can also always be improved and reinvented. How many, did you see all those iterations I went through? All the, Bernard Mayer, he added a drum, and Cassini solved the sink problems, and so it had another iteration, and it just became something else. So just because you say, oh, that's already been invented, doesn't mean you can't improve it and make it something new. Maybe it's invented and it has these drawbacks, and you find out how to get over those drawbacks. Now all of a sudden you've got something brand new. So inventions can always be improved and reinvented. Now keep that in mind for opportunities for yourself, because inventions of other people can always be improved and reinvented, and products and technologies, but also your invention, product, technology can be improved. So constantly, if you're not constantly improving your own product, your own business, somebody else is going to. So anyway, if you want to find out more on finding the right idea, do I have the right idea? Check out our Empowered Inventing Academy course called Do I Have the Next $1 Million Idea? That can be found at empoweredinventing.com. I'm Don Skaggs. This is Empowered Inventing TV. Like, subscribe, help us to build our tribe, and I'll look to see you on the next video.